It's Platt, and today we're ready to kick the jams. Triple jam, that is. That's next on Platt's Drink of the Week. Well, all right, guys, got another fun little video for you today. Don't talk much about cider on the channel, and I'm here to do something about that. So today we have Blake's Triple Jam Hard Cider. I purchased this can for $2.79. Luckily, my liquor store here does the individual thing. You most likely can find this in, I think they do 6 and 12 packs. I'm not sure on the price. This is 6.5% alcohol by volume. Let's see what's in the can. Blake's Hard Cider Company, Triple Jam, strawberry, blackberry, and raspberry, 6.5% ABV, gluten-free, contains alcohol, 12 fluid ounces. This is apple cider based. Those other fruits are then added. So it's not just they didn't turn a cider out of those juices. It's still apple based, but those other fruits add various flavors to it. Let's go into the background of Blake's. The story starts back in 1946 when Gerald and Lovey Blake, I love that name. That was Mrs. Howell's name, or that's what Thurston Howell III, Lovey on Gilligan's Island, and that name always stuck out to me. Well, Gerald and Lovey decided to take their 13 kids and move to a 100-acre farm in Armada, Michigan there in 1946. They moved into a 3-bedroom farmhouse. So talk about a full house. That is the definition of that. Years later, twins Peter and Paul Blake went to Michigan State. After graduating, they decided they wanted to come back and help build the family farm, and they did. They helped grow the farm. Now, Paul's son, Andrew, years later, also, I believe, attended Michigan State, and while he's at school, he picked up a very valuable trade. He learned to make hard cider and was motivated to, when he graduated, to come back home, and he wanted to start a cider company on the family farm, which absolutely makes sense, and he got permission from the family, and in 2013, he started Blake's Hard Cider. Now today, the Blake family farms are over 800 acres. They have 4 different locations. You could do all kinds of things there. You could obviously tour the cider facility. They also have a full orchard. I believe they let you even pick your own fruit. They have the orchard, they have the cider mill, where they make more than just hard cider. They also make fresh cider each fall. You have the old school apple press. They do all that kind of fun stuff. They have a restaurant, including they do igloo dining in the wintertime. Apparently they have these geodesic domes that look like igloos, and you can reserve a table inside an igloo and have dinner during the wintertime. They also have what they call Appleseed Camp for the kids in the summertime, learn about, life on the farm and fruit, growing fruits and stuff like that. So real cool facility, real cool story behind the farm. Let's jump into the variety of ciders, a real nice variety of ciders. First one we're going to talk about is American Apple, 8% ABV. This is what they refer to as an imperial hard cider. At 8%, that is stronger than most. Kind of the same vein when you hear the term Imperial Stout or Imperial IPA, just a higher ABV version of that, and I think that's kind of a cool concept. Next is Peach Party, coming in at 6.5% alcohol by volume. This is flavored with peach and blackberry, more traditionally kind of southern style fruits, but I like that. I like that combination. Oddly enough, when I was working on my cocktail for the Master Distiller Show, I really thought about doing a peach blackberry mint julep. I went with the raspberries instead, but those flavors work very well together. And lastly, Apple Lantern, 6.5% alcohol by volume. This is made with roasted pumpkin. Very cool kind of fall time thing. I have tried a ton of pumpkin beers over the years, but haven't tried pumpkin cider, and the roasted notes might kind of work with that sweetness of the apples. Very interesting to try that one of these days. Real quick before we jump in, because again, I don't talk about a ton of cider, do a ton of cider content, kind of want to go over what cider is. First off, we have apple cider. non-alcoholic apple cider, which is just apples just pressed. You get the juice, but you also get a little bit of the pulp. It's not real clear. Apple juice is filtered. Also, modern apple juice has sweetener added to it, or sugar a lot of times. Apple cider does not. Then there's hard apple cider, when we take that unfiltered cider, ferment it, and then turn it, into an alcoholic beverage. Traditionally, or the term cider comes from a Middle English term, cider, which referred to hard or a strong alcoholic drink. Now, there are two kind of major styles of cider in this, as far as the type of apples they use. There's heritage ciders, which are more of the classic kind of old school ciders. They're a little more bittersweet. They have the apples tend to have a little more tannins. When I first started bartending, the cider that was kind of the only cider available in most bars was Hornsby's Draft Cider. It was a drier style cider. Today, modern ciders tend to use culinary style apples, tend to have a little less tannins, tend to be a little more acidic, also tend to bring out a little more of the sweetness. The American sweet tooth has just continued to grow, and so the cider makers have kind of moved to a different style of apple for that. Today, most of your major cider producers use a multitude of apples in their ciders. Unlike the wine people, where you might see a Merlot, which is for that particular style of grape, or a Cabernet, you don't see hard ciders that are specifically McIntosh apple cider, hard apple cider, or Granny Smith hard apple cider. It tends to be a blend of apples. So, little info there if you're kind of new to the cider game. So with that being said, let's try some triple jam. All right. Color-wise, we look like we're drinking like a pink Moscato. If you ever had that, or a white Zinfandel, plenty of bubbles. Oh, that sweetness. That sweetness hits up front. I do catch, maybe just because of homebrew and stuff, I do catch a little yeast in there, but let's go ahead and dive in. Oh, that is nice. That's refreshing, effervescent. The sweetness hits right there. You get those berry notes. Not one individual berry steps out, but you do pick up those berry notes. That is very nice. Body-wise, medium minus. Really is an easy drinker. The carbonation, again, does have some effervescence. This goes down real easy. Ciders, and where I was introduced to this cider first time was when I was bartending at a brewery. When I first, 30 years ago, started going to kind of the first wave of microbrewery, stuff like that, a lot of them didn't have full bars because the states at the time were still kind of the way they legislated things. And you didn't have a real alternative for the, well, I don't drink beer, or back then if you brought your girlfriend or whatever, I don't drink beer. Ciders were the alternative to that. Like I said, back then they were a little more dry ciders. But this is a great, and I've been to several breweries where the Blake's products are their ciders that they kind of carry for that purpose, and Blake's does a great job. And this triple jam is generally the one that they kind of end up going to, even though Blake's has a regular hard cider, and again the American apple, stuff like that. But this is the one they've really hit. This may be their flagship product, and it really does work. If you're with someone who's not a beer drinker and this is available, this is a great option. They have them in cans, perfect for the beach. 6.5% alcohol by volume. More than enough alcohol for you, but it's not too over the top. It's not session style ABV down the 4 or 5s, but man, this really works. A nice little, nice, simple, easy drinking hard cider. Tough to beat. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit subscribe down below. Also, please like the content because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or things in the liquor store you'd like me to try, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, bottoms up.